So the diagrammatic representation is over. Today we have to see the graphical representation. Under graphical, so write the heading, graphical representation. What are the different representation or different types of presentation? Do you remember? Do you remember what are the
Ma'am,
different types? Yeah, come on.
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
ma'am, textual presentation, tabular
Yeah,
presentation, diagrammatic presentation, and graphic presentation.
very good. So we have done with this diagrammatic presentation. The next is graphical presentation. Under graphical presentation, there are two important presentation types of presentation we will study. The first one is time series, and the second one is, distribute graph of frequency distribution. The first is time series or graph of time series. You can write graph of time series, and the second one is graph of frequency distribution. Graph of time series and graph of frequency distribution. So the first one is graph of time series. What is graph of time series? What is time series? The values of a variable at different points of time. Time series means the values of different point of time will be given. So a variable at different point of time will be depicted in the graph that is known as time series. So you write the values of a variable at different points of time. The values of a variable at different point of time. Read what is given here on the board. Can you hear me?
Graph
Yes,
of
ma'am.
time
Graph
series.
of time.
Graph of time series. Okay. So I thought you cannot read what I have written because it is not that clear. This is A, okay? Graph of time series. Graph of time series. If you listen to me, then you can read it. The moment I write, I'm reading it also. So graph of time series. So with the name itself, you should understand that at a particular variable at different period of time will be depicted on a graph that is known as graph of time series. So the important thing is at different period of time, a particular variable will be shown that is known as time series. For example, sales will be given at the y-axis if sales is given, and here at a different point of time, just like a different months or a different year, that is different point of time is given, that particular series, just like suppose you start from here, the time series may go like this or may come down and again go like that. In different years, it may come down and go up. So, it is given like 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 6, 7, and the like. So, what is given? A particular variable that is sales at different point of time. So, in this case, what is given? Sales at different point of time. So, what is the variable here? Variable is sales and at different point of time. Such a representation is known as graph of time series. Any variable at different point of time is known as graph of time series. So you write the technique of graphic representation, the technique of graphic presentation, analyzing changes at different points of time. Changes at different points of time. So that's the meaning of graph of time series. A variable at different point of time is given. That is known as time series. And this particular time series can be with one variable or more than one, or two variable. Normally one or two or more than two. Okay. So if it is with like one variable only, we will call graph of one variable, and it is with more variable also is possible. Suppose, I mean, in this case, in the y-axis, you are given both export and import at different years. So here in the y-axis, you will write two variables. Instead of sales, you can write export and import. So how many variables are there? Two variables. So you have to draw the timeline for two things, that is export or import. Both are given in the y-axis and different year. Suppose this is the graphic timeline of imports. So you will draw another line of export, okay, another line of export according to the data given. So this is of export. That means, or you can draw more than two also. So that is multi-variable. Okay, so time series can be with one variable or more than one variable. Those are the divisions of time series. That is graph of one variable and graph of two or more variables. Graph of one variable and graph of two or more variables. I will give you an example and to do a problem. Write the question. Represents the following data. Represent the following data. With the help of a suitable graph. With the help of a suitable graph. Write the year. Write the year. (2005 to 2010). 2005 to 10. So different years are given. And write the sales. Next line, write the sales corresponding to each year. In thousands. In thousands. In 2003, sorry, this is 2005 now. In 2005, it is 17. 2006, it is 22. 2007, 42. 2008, 29. 2009, 36. And 2010, 28. Is the question clear to you?
Ma'am, what is written below the year?
Sorry, repeat.
Ma'am, what is written below the year?
Sales. This is sales.
Okay, ma'am.
Sales 17, 22, 42, 29, 36, and 28. The question is with the help of a suitable graph. Exam, it will be given with the help of a suitable graph. And you know, in order to show the different periods of time, what is the most suitable graph? No sound? In order to show when
Time of series.
yeah, time series.
Graph
So
of
looking at
time
the
of
question,
series.
yeah, correct. That means if it is given like a particular variable at different points of time, you have to understand that the most suitable graph is what? Time series. So even though it is not mentioned like you have to prepare a time series, you have to prepare it seeing this different period of time, one variable or two variable, whatever. So start making it in the y-axis. You will write all the sales. You will show, and in the x-axis the different period of time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 36 is there. So in the year 2005, you have 17. So you know 5. So in the first year, that is in the year 2005, right? 2005 here also, right? 2005, 2006. So in the first year, what is the sales? 17. That means after 15 here. And in the year 2016, it is 22. That is below 25. 2007, 42. Okay, you have a 42, so you have to go after this also, 40, 42, okay? Understood? So it will go here. Okay, let me wrap my question then. I'm going to wrap my question. You do it. Don't wait for me. So this will come somewhere here. Then 2008, 29.
Ma'am, do we have to join the point?
Yeah. First you find out the point, locate it. Then you have to join with the line. 2009, 36.
Ma'am, we have to join it freely or by stage?
Sorry.
Ma'am, do we have to join them freely or by stage?
Straight line. Yeah, straight line is the scheme. So my shape may be, perhaps it is different because you are doing it in a correct manner. And 2009, 36. Okay, 36. Almost this shape you will get. Almost this shape you will get. Have you got this shape? Almost?
Yes, ma'am.
So in this, from this time graph, we can understand that, I mean, very easily we can understand that this is the maximum, which year, even though you have the data, by looking it for a minute or for a second, you can say, very easily you can understand that this is the maximum point, and this is that, just look down 2007. This is a 2007. Okay, 2007 it is 42. And the minimum is at this point, that is 70. The minimum is at 2005. So it is very easy to understand. This representation is very easy to understand. So that is for time series. So if one more item like export, import, or suppose it is sales of textiles and sales of electronic item, if a company dealing with two items, Okay, so both the goods, both the distribution sales are to be shown, or another item is also have to be shown. You just have the period here and the item here and the different times lines you can make here. So that is with one variable and different variable. So now I will give you another question with different variable, that is more than one variable. Write the year 2004 to 2010.
Two thousand ten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And production of firm A and firm B is given. Production of firm, F-I-R, what it will be firm? An enterprise, business firm. Production of firm A and production of firm B, that is different business firm. Production of two different firms, business firms are given. It is given like it is given in decimal in the textbook. Okay, we follow the same. Here it is 2.4 and here it is 2.1. 2.9 and 2.6. 9 and 6. 5.1 and 5.8. 4.3 and 4.7. 2.7 and 3.1. 5.8 and 4.9. 4.1 and 5.2. 5.2. So these are the figures. Any doubt with any particular number, please ask. This is 5.8, okay? 5.1 and 5.8. This is 8. And this is 5.2. If you have finished the question, wrote the question, I will take a new page. You finish the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I will take a new page. When you finish the problem or when the work is complete, tell me. So in the y-axis, you have two variables this time, isn't it? What are the two variables you have? You have firm A and firm B. So you have to write it here, production firm A bar firm B. Production firm A bar B. So you have two variables here. You have to study only the two variables. So here you have to take 2004 to 2010. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here you take 1 to 6 because your this varies between, it is given actually in 1000 tons. 2.4 thousand tons. So put in bracket when you wrote production of firm A, within bracket you write in 1000 tons. So as it is like this number, you take here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6. Yeah, 6 also you have to take because 5.8 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Likewise you take. Finished?
Yes, ma'am.
2 lines you got? 2 lines. Firm A and firm B to have 2 lines because
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
multivariable. Yeah. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Now, if I come back to the meet, then present screen again will take time. That's why after the class, afterwards, I will come to you to check the answers. Okay. Then I will check your notebook. Eight, 9, 10. So name it firm A and firm B. Otherwise, how will you know which firm is doing better? It's very good for comparison. Firm A in 2004, it is 2.4. 2005, it is 2000, sorry, 2.9. It is 5.1 in the next year. 4.3 in the next year. 2.7. 2008, it has come down to 2.7. That means here. Then 5.8. In the year 9, it is 5.8. Are you with me? Then 4.1. See, now you join it. So this is almost this shape you will get almost, I'm saying. This is what firm A. As soon as you complete it, you write which firm you have done. Firm A. Now make firm B's 2004, it is 2.1. Here. You can do, I mean, this with the dotted lines also. One of the thing you can do with the dotted lines so that you can differentiate. One with a regular line and the other with the dotted lines will do. 2.1. Then 2.6. 2.6 again here. Okay. Then guide me 2006. What is the number? Here, above this. 5.8. 2007, 4.7. 2008, 2.7. Somewhere here. 2008, 2.7. Then not 2.7, it is 3.1. Now I told you to guide me. What is the number here? We are doing 3.1, right? It is 3.1. Guide me. 3.1. Yeah. Next, 2009.
5.8.
5.8 is for firm A, na beta?
Yes, ma'am. And 4.9. 4.9.
4.9. 4.9. Okay, then
5.2.
5.2. See, this way it will go. So at a point, firm B crosses firm A. Find out that point in which year? Which year the firm B crosses firm A in production?
Ma'am, 2006.
Yeah. So this is from here the question can also be asked. It's not in our syllabus, but normally question can be asked in which year firm B crosses the production of firm A and which year it become almost same. So like that the question can also be asked. Okay. So in the y-axis you have shown two variables and in the x-axis different point of time is given and y-axis you have to write firm A bar firm B. This you have to definitely write what are the variables. You have to write firm A bar B. What is given? Production of firm A bar B is given. So likewise, you have to do it. Did you understand this multivariable that is more than one variable? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, what about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go ahead for the other one? The next one. So we are going through what presentation? What kind of presentation we are going through?
Graphical.
Yeah,
Graphical.
graphical presentation. Always you must know what you are in which point you are, what you are studying. Okay, the first point was the time series, frequency or a graph of time series, and the next is graph of frequency distribution. So next, the second one we will see graph of frequency distribution, graph of frequency distribution. And there are different types. In that important ones we will study graph of frequency distribution. Write it in full. I'm writing in short, but you write frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. And under graph of frequency distribution, there are different types like, right, line frequency diagram, line frequency diagram, line frequency diagram, then histogram, second is histogram. So you must be thinking this line diagram, histogram and all you have seen in the previous case also. Yes or no? So in the diagrammatic presentation, you have seen, what are the things you have seen? Line diagram, simple bar diagram, multiple bar diagram, or circular or pie diagram. These you have seen. Okay, that we have done without the graph. When we do it in the graph paper, it is line frequency diagram. So this is a case when we draw in the graph paper. That is line frequency diagram. And the second one is histogram. A graphical representation of the same is also there. That means in the graph paper you will do histogram. And the third one is frequency polygon. Frequency polygon. Do you remember the word frequency? Do you remember the word frequency? Nobody remember. Do you remember the word frequency?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it? Hmm?
Number of observation.
Very good. Number of observation against each item is known as what? Frequency. So frequency polygon and cumulative frequency curve. Next is cumulative frequency curve. Frequency curve is also known as ogive or ogive. O-G-I-V-E, ogive. I read it once again so that it become clear to you. The graph of frequency distribution. So all this shows the frequency. Frequency means the number of items against each observation. So graph of frequency distribution. First one line frequency diagram, then histogram, then frequency polygon, then cumulative frequency curve or ogive. So these are the different word graphs of frequency distribution. In that, this one you have already done. Line in the line diagram, you have already, you have done problem with the line diagram. So when you do it in the graph, it will become under this category. Without graph, when you do that, will come under what? Diagrammatic presentation. So line diagram you have seen in the diagrammatic presentation, and when we do it in the graph, it will come under this. Histogram also you know how to do it. Histogram, when we do it in the graph, it will come under this particular category. So that means we have to study only these two. Frequency polygon and cumulative frequency curve or ogive. So frequency polygon and cumulative frequency curve or ogive, that is the thing we have to see now. Okay. So what are the different types of frequency graph of frequency distribution? Read. Different types of graph of frequency distribution.
Line frequency diagram,
Hmm.
histogram,
Hmm.
cumulative frequency or
Hmm.
ogive, and
Hmm.
frequency polygon.
Okay, ogive. Okay. So let me